What's up, everyone? Kind of been sitting on this message for the last couple of days. I've just been really busy. I've been having a good time with my daughter. My son was visiting his other sister, and so my daughter and I have been having a good time. We went down to Wynwood in Miami, and we did lunch and all that kind of stuff, and saw her friend, and just been enjoying time spending with my daughter. It's been a lot of fun. So the message that I got a few days ago to share with you guys was about celebrating your small victories. And how this came about was I was talking with my daughter on the couch, and next year she's starting high school, and it's going to be a big change because the school that she goes to right now, it's a private school, and it's very small, and it's kind of like going to give me a break because I've really it costs money for her to go there, so it's going to be a blessing, her starting next year at this school, because one, it's free, but it's a really good school, and but she's going to have a lot more responsibility and a lot more on her plate, and she's going to be around a lot more kids, and I was just talking to her about it, and just making sure that we had open communication about how she may get overwhelmed and things like that, and that I'm always going to be there to talk to her and listen, and my daughter's really smart, and why wouldn't she be, right? And she's like, she gets like straight A's. She gets like hundreds on her test. She's blows my mind, and so she has really big dreams, surprise, surprise, and I'm so proud of her, if you can't tell, and I feel like every parent should be proud of their children like that. But I was nervous, I was kind of like talking to her, and I was trying not to show how nervous I am about her going, and just, our whole worlds are changing. A lot of things have changed within my family dynamic, and my children are stepping into their independence, and this is what we have been training them for, right? As parents, we train them for this, for them to have wings to fly, right? And to soar and to hope. Like, I want them both to be better than I ever was. I want them to strive to be more than I've ever become. My son is like, he started working, and he's making, I was 42 before I started making what he's making, and an hour, and it's pretty, I'm just really proud. Like, right there, it's just like he's already surpassing. They both already surpassed me, and but when I was saying this stuff to her, and she just looked at me and, like, so calm, and she's like, "Mom, I know." She said, I have big dreams and big goals, and I know that these things aren't going to come without a sacrifice, and of my time and my energy into my study and my studying. And she said, I'm prepared for that. Like, she's training herself now to be mentally prepared for when she gets there. And she's in 8th grade. Okay, and I just started crying. And my kid's like, I'm very emotional and very sensitive, and I just started crying, and she was like, "What are you crying for?" She was like, "Oh my God." And I had a victorious moment there, because since I've had my children, I have just been like filling their minds with all the information that I have been learning pretty much since I've gotten sober, right? And everything that I've learned from the mistakes that I've made or the errors. Okay, you know, I don't really believe anything's ever a mistake or a failure, because I've always come out stronger and mightier, you know, and better than where I was before it happened. And in that moment, I was just like, this is it, you know. It's like, I'm freaking doing it. Like, this is all that I've ever really wanted, was my kids, you know, to have it better than me, and they've been listening. You know, they have it. They've been listening and taking it in. And I've had this kind of moment with both my daughter and my son over the last few days, and I mean, I didn't listen to anybody when I was their age, you know. So, you know, even though I've been instilling these things in them and teaching them everything that I've been learning as I've been growing and healing as a human being. I guess I just figured like they were going to respond to it like me, but come to find out, they've really been listening to me. They were really paying attention, and they believe it. And they believe it, I guess, because they see me in the way that I live, you know? And right there, it's like, you know, I have these big dreams for myself still. You know, I'm 52. I'm just like finally at this point in my life where I'm really beginning to lay the groundwork for the foundation that I have been visualizing for the last 23 years, okay? And it's just really, but in these moments that I've had with my kids, it's like, whoa, Lisa, because I keep thinking that because I'm not a millionaire yet, because we haven't been able to, like, I haven't been able to give them this house that I vision, you know, this like stability that I picture that they need and I want to give them, you know, that I haven't done much. And that's just me being a perfectionist, because there's nobody who, I don't even, maybe it is like judges myself, you know. I just push myself. Like, okay, whatever I'm doing, it's like, I gotta do more. Okay, what do we have to do next? You know, and it's celebrating these and it's not little victories. It's like, wow, whoa, Lisa. Okay, maybe you don't have $1 million in your bank account yet. Okay. But you know, there was a time where, you know, when my dad was alive, he was helping me. He would, when I was in a bind, I would call him and he would help me. You know, I don't have to do that anymore. Or my mom, you know, and I haven't done that. You know, I don't have to do that. And there's like, there's been times where I've been negative hundreds of dollars in my account, you know, and I don't live like that anymore. And so it's like, it seems small, but you know, all this time I've been educating myself on how to do things and what to do, and preparing myself for just expecting that one day I'm going to have this enormous amount of money that I'm going to have to know what to do with, right? And, you know, so I read books, I listen to people that have what I want, you know, and it's like, it seems small, but coming from where I've been, or where I started, today I can pay all my bills, and today my account, it doesn't have negative hundreds of dollars in it. It doesn't have a lot of money in it, but it has. I'm not in the negative, and we can go out, and I can take my kids to the movies now, because for a long time we haven't like been able to do things like that. But it's not that we didn't have a good time. We I remember, way back in the day when it was just my son and I. We would have slumber parties, and have pull out couch, and we'd watch scary movies in the living room, and sleep out on the living room. And and then when my daughter came along, we would all just like snuggle in my bed and watch movies. And we've made it fun. We have a good connection, and that's been so important to me. So wherever you are, maybe you're in the position where I was, and you are a single mom or a single parent, and that shit is not for the weak, right? I mean, you really have to just put on your big girl panties, big boy pants, whatever, and fucking do the shit, okay? Because nobody's fucking doing it for you. Nobody is there to save you. You are your knight in shining armor. You are your princess buttercup, whatever, okay? It's you're doing it all, and it's exhausting. And I remember those days of leaving my house at 5 a.m. and not getting home until like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and my son having to be in daycare all day. It sucked. It sucks. And since that time, I've been dreaming of the things that I've been dreaming of, that I haven't given up on, and maybe I'm not there yet, but it doesn't mean that I'm failing at life, because there have been so many things. Because besides just raising two amazing children, in July I'll have 23 years sober, and I was a wild woman, I'm still a wild woman, just not with drugs and alcohol, and I'm not as careless as I was, I just have a smarter brain, I use it this now. And so, part of the reason why I have this channel, I just know that God wants me to share my story, whoever you are, wherever you are. I know it's a wild time right now, everything costs a shit ton of money. And if you are, I feel like I'm talking to some single parents out there, especially, it can be tight. But one thing I can promise for sure is that it's not always going to be the way it is now. You snap your fingers and your whole life changes. Just like that. Boom, bow. So keep your chin up, eyes forward. And no matter what, no matter fucking what, you get up and you do what you gotta do. Because you got people depending on you. Whoever you are, whether you're a single parent or not. Even if it's just for yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, who do you think is going to take care of yourself? Nobody. It's a beautiful thing to embrace your independence. It's not easy, okay? I have stomped my feet, spit, cried, okay? I used to be spoiled, and but being spoiled cost. And today, nobody has a say on how I live my life. And I think that's a pretty beautiful thing. And that is also what I'm instilling in my children, to be independent. First it starts in your mind, So if you're laying in bed and you're depressed or whatever the hell's going on, if your mind is telling you you can't, okay, you're just going to keep on canting. What my life has proven is that even when you think you can't, you have to force yourself to move. You just have to fucking force yourself. You can't have any excuses. If I had excuses, my children wouldn't be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have been taken away from me. We would have been, who knows what would have happened. So I know it's not, I don't know. I mean, I do know. You just got to get your ass up. You got to get your ass up and you got to keep moving. You keep fucking moving forward. I know that I've had days where I have literally felt like I was lifting up one leg to take a step forward and then lifting up the other leg to take another step forward. When everything seems uphill, okay? With slippery fucking gravel. But you get there. It doesn't matter if you don't get there as fast as Bobby, Sue, and whoever else, okay? You'll get there when you're supposed to get there. And you embrace and enjoy the ride along the way. And I needed to be reminded of that because, and I was, this week with these conversations with my children and realizing they've been listening all along. And I have to acknowledge that I've been doing something, and it's okay for me to pat myself on the back because that is a big deal. It is a big deal. So I'm sharing that with you in hopes to motivate you to keep moving forward and to keep leaning into it. Whatever it is, just fucking lean into that shit, okay? It can't beat you. It won't beat you if you don't give up. And that's it. You got to get your mind right. Tell yourself, no matter fucking what, think about the mustard seed, okay? You don't have to like to do whatever it is that you have to do, but you still got to do it. And try not to fucking complain or agitate anybody else just because you're annoyed that you have to do it. If you're a parent, it's like, that's your fucking job, all right? So that's it. That's your job. That's your duty. You have a duty to your children to take care of them. And that's that. I don't know. I told my kids, like, no matter what, they will always have a place to go. I don't care what happens in their life. They will always have a place to go. I don't feel like anything will ever happen to them, They're moving forward, But it's important for us to teach our children, as parents, like to teach our children to be tough. Like they can still be sensitive and maybe not as I'm grateful my children haven't seen the life that I saw, They've had to experience other things, but but we got through it as a family, you know. But I'm grateful that they're not hard. I'm grateful that they're so loving and open and happy. I thank God for that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to provide a different environment for my children, and I have. And I can celebrate that. It's not a small victory, but it was something that I wasn't even taking into consideration. So what is it about your life that you're not even realizing that you've already accomplished? Like, maybe you're like me and just judging yourself so harshly because you're not where you want to be. And I just needed to be put back into my place. And that was the message that I was guided to share with you, was to celebrate our small victories, you know, celebrate our victories, no matter how small. Because if you woke up this morning and you're still breathing and you're living, it's like God ain't done with you yet. You know, you still have a shot. You still have a shot to do whatever you want to do and be whoever it is that you want to be. I love you. I hope this helps you. I hope this motivates you. Don't quit. Whatever the hell. Like, no matter fucking what. We are the no matter fucking what club. Okay? I love you. Have an awesome night. Bye.